There are about 15 million Jews on the planet today. 15 million. That's fewer people than live in the state of Florida. It's fewer than belong to a single mid-sized Christian denomination in America alone. And yet with a religion that claims a direct, unbroken relationship with God going back thousands of years, we've made almost no organized effort for the best part of the last 2,000 years to bring people into the religion. Now that might strike you, and it probably should strike you, as strange if you look at other religions in the world. Every other major faith with global reach got that reach by asking people to join. We didn't. So the real question isn't why are there so few Jews looking at history and looking at this ethos. It's why did we stop trying to change that? And that, by the way, I think is worth consideration today. The paradox is, well, let's go here, because here's what surprises people. We didn't always hold back on proselytizing. When we did proselytize, or some might see it evangelize, in the centuries around the destruction of the Second Temple, Judaism was, by many scholarly accounts, a genuinely attractive option in the Greco-Roman world. Josephus, the great historian of that period, he writes about God-fearers. These were Gentiles who attended synagogue and kept parts of Jewish law without going all the way into the religion. And some, of course, did go all the way. The most striking historical case, Queen Helena of Adiabene, which is a kingdom in what's now northern Iraq. She converted to Judaism in the 1st century along with her sons. They were the kings Izates and Monobazus. They didn't convert quietly. They moved to Jerusalem. They built palaces there. They funded famine relief for the city, and they supported the temple. A foreign royal house chose Judaism, and Jerusalem treated it as a point of pride. Centuries later, something even larger happened. Farther north, in the 8th century, the Khazars, a powerful Turkic kingdom stretching from the Black Sea to the Caspian Sea, converted to Judaism right at the top. Their king and much of the ruling class with him. Historians still debate how deep it went, but the surviving letters that describe a king weighing 3 faiths, choosing Judaism deliberately, in part to stay independent of the Christians and the Muslims who were pressing him in from both sides. So this was at moments a faith that expanded, that took in converts, that took them seriously, that welcomed kings. Why it stopped is worthy of consideration. Well, it did stop, and it stopped mostly not by our own choice. Once Christianity became the religion of the Roman Empire, the law turned against us, on us, specifically on this issue. The Theodosian Code, compiled under Christian emperors in the 4th and 5th centuries, made it a crime to convert to Judaism. Later, under Justinian, it became a capital offense. Centuries after that, across much of the Islamic world, Jews lived under the status of dhimmi, tolerated as a so-called protected minority, but explicitly forbidden from seeking converts among Muslims. Now hear that again, for most of the last 1,500 years, in most of the places Jews actively lived, proselytizing, evangelizing wasn't just discouraged, it was against the law. It could get you and the person you converted killed. So a faith that once had kings choosing it built out of necessity a different posture, one of survival, of quietude, not expansion. The theology of restraint is worthy of consideration. Here's what I want you to sit with, because history alone doesn't explain everything. Even in free countries, even in the last century, once the legal danger had lifted, we still didn't go back to actively knocking on doors, to seeking converts. That's not just old trauma, that's theology. Judaism, and this is key, it never taught that you need to become a Jew to be righteous or to have a place in the world to come. Think about that for a moment, because it's so essential, so core to other religions. Judaism didn't require anybody else to become Jewish in order for them to have a place in heaven or to be considered righteous. If you think about it, to be righteous, you had to be righteous. A righteous Gentile is, to this day, a righteous Gentile in Jewish terms. Full stop, no conversion required. We are not, in our own telling, the only people standing in a relationship with God. So the theological engine that drives so much missionary religion outward, the belief that the world needs to join this one covenant to be saved, simply isn't running under the hood of Judaism. And to that, a strange fact about how our tradition treats a sincere convert. The Talmud instructs a rabbi to turn a prospective convert away, tradition says 3 times, before accepting them. Historically, you might already have a context here, that practice did 2 things. It tested whether someone truly meant it, to this day it still does, in eras when saying yes could have cost them everything. And it protected the community because in a country after country, helping someone convert was itself a crime. Put those 2 things together, a theology that doesn't require you, and a history that punishes you for trying, and you get a faith that talks about itself in quiet terms, in quiet conversation, in, today I'd say, forwarded articles, and a conversion process built to slow people down rather than sign them up, not on billboards. So, no, we don't run missions. We don't go door to door. When someone wants in, our tradition's instinct, even now, is still to ask, and to ask gently, are you sure? Now, I don't think that's a wound. I don't think that's a failure. In fact, I take pride in it. I think after enough centuries, it became a value. We stopped needing everyone to agree with us in order to feel secure in what we believe and what we practice. That's a quieter kind of confidence than the kind that recruits, but it's a confidence all the same. Well, I hope this was interesting and helpful. Maybe share it with somebody who has curiosity about this topic or about Judaism. For The Meaning Mindset, I am your host. I'm Rabbi Ron Li-Paz. Thank you. Please subscribe. Please forward this to other people. Ask them to follow. Hit the subscribe button. That helps us a lot. Thank you.
This season is produced and edited by Jonah Li-Paz. Content editing by Bronwyn Li-Paz. Digital marketing by Notebook Media. The Meaning Mindset is hosted by Rabbi Ron Li-Paz. Find us wherever you find your podcasts.